Hi everyone, I hope you are well. Welcome to this new video about the International Space Station. ISS is the famous research laboratory in orbit around the Earth. Let's begin by explain what is this space station. It is a research laboratory that orbits the Earth at an altitude of about 400 kilometers. The station is the result of a partnership between the United States, Russia, Europe, Japan, and Canada. It was first launched in 1998 and is currently the largest man-made object in space. The International Space Station is about 110 meters long and 74 meters wide, and weighs about 420 tons. It is composed of different modules that have been assembled in orbit. It can accommodate a crew of 6 people. The astronauts who work on the ISS come from different countries and are chosen for their expertise in scientific research and engineering. The main purpose of the International Space Station is to conduct scientific research in microgravity to understand the effects of weightlessness on the human body and on materials. It is also used to test new technologies and to prepare for future space travel, including missions to Mars. But how was the ISS built? Construction of the International Space Station began in 1998 with the launch of the first module, Zarya, by Russia. Since then, the International Space Station has been assembled in orbit in stages, using different modules, equipment and space vehicles. The main compartments of the ISS are the Russian module Zvezda, Unity, which was built by the Americans, the laboratory module Destiny, the Japanese storage module Kibo, Columbus, which was built by the Europeans, as well as several additional modules and robotic arms. The assembly of the ISS was an international cooperation project, with the participation of several space agencies. We can mention NASA, the Russian Roscosmos, or the European, Japanese and Canadian space agencies. The assembly of the ISS was realized using space shuttles, Soyuz rockets and automatic refueling vessels. Robotic arms were then used to assemble the modules in orbit. Note that in orbit, each action is of a multiplied complexity. This makes the tasks of fixing modules, connecting electrical cables and pipes particularly complicated. Let's see now the rhythm of life of the astronauts on board the ISS. Life on the International Space Station is very different from life on Earth. Astronauts working on the ISS must adapt to living in microgravity, with routines that allow them to live in good health. For daily life, each module of the station is equipped with beds, toilets, showers, a kitchen, a dining room, a gym and a workstation to perform scientific experiments. One of the main challenges of life on the ISS is staying healthy in microgravity. Astronauts must exercise daily to maintain muscle mass and bone density. For this purpose, the ISS is equipped with treadmills, stationary bikes and weight training equipment. Astronauts have access to a variety of vacuum-packed foods, which have been designed to be consumed in zero gravity. Food is dehydrated, freeze-dried or packaged in tubes or pouches for easy consumption. Water is also a crucial element of life on the ISS, and drinking water is produced by a water recycling system. Communication with Earth is essential for ISS astronauts, who use satellite links to communicate with mission control centers as well as with their families. Astronauts can also communicate in real time with other crew members aboard the station. Outside of work, astronauts have free time to relax and pursue their hobbies. They can watch movies, listen to music, read, play board games, or take pictures of the Earth. Astronauts are present on the ISS to advance research. Now let's see what their activities are. Let's start with biology. Microgravity offers unique conditions to study the effects of weightlessness on living things, from cell growth to human physiology. Scientists can study the effects of microgravity on muscles, bones, the immune system and the brain. Let's continue in physics and technology. Microgravity also offers scientists the possibility to conduct experiments on crystal growth, 3D printing, combustion, magnetization, or nuclear fusion. In medicine, chronic diseases, cardiovascular diseases, sleep disorders and the adaptation of the body to space are studied. Scientists can also test innovative drugs and therapies that could have applications on Earth. They can study environmental changes such as pollution, deforestation and ice melt using remote sensing instruments on the ISS. The space station also provides a platform to study the effect of human activity on the Earth's environment. Finally, the ISS is obviously an excellent astronomical observatory for studying the universe. Scientists observe stars, planets, galaxies and phenomena such as solar flares and cosmic rays. They can also use telescopes installed on the ISS to observe the universe in wavelengths that the Earth cannot reach because of the Earth's atmosphere. ISS astronauts face a number of challenges while living and working in space. First, they are isolated from family and friends for months or even years. They live in a very small space and must find ways to stay motivated and connected with their loved ones. The microgravity, temperature, pressure and atmosphere on the ISS are very different from those on Earth. Astronauts must learn to adapt to these conditions to avoid health problems. The ISS depends on regular deliveries of food, water, fuel and other supplies to stay operational. Any delay or failure in these deliveries can have serious consequences for the crew and the experiments conducted on board. The ISS must be constantly monitored for signs of potential danger, such as air leaks or temperature problems. Astronauts must train to deal with emergencies, such as power outages or fires. Finally, living in space can have adverse effects on the health of astronauts, such as loss of bone density, vision problems, hormonal changes and cardiovascular problems. To finish this video, let's look at the ISS activities in the coming years. The current goal is to expand its use to make it an even more valuable tool for scientific research and space exploration. NASA and its partners recently decided to extend the life of the ISS to 2028, 8 years beyond its original retirement date. This decision will allow for the continuation of important science experiments, testing of new space technologies and training of future astronauts for long-duration missions. NASA is looking to encourage more commercial activities on the ISS to increase its utilization and help fund the station's operating costs. Companies such as SpaceX and Boeing have already signed contracts to send crews and supplies to the ISS, and other companies are looking to develop products and services in space. The ISS is being considered as a base for preparing for more distant space exploration missions, such as missions to the Moon and Mars. Finally, the big new project is to develop a new space station, the Gateway, which will be located in orbit around the Moon. The Gateway will serve as a hub for lunar and Mars exploration missions, and will provide new opportunities for scientific research and space exploration. Thus, space research still has a long way to go. If the ISS is enjoying its last years, it was the first space laboratory and leaves behind a rich heritage that will serve future generations. Who knows how far humans will succeed in conquering space? I hope you enjoyed this video about the International Space Station. If you did, feel free to leave a like and ask your questions in the comments. I will be happy to answer them.